Good morning. Okay. Yeah. Sangye Chedan Soke Sonam La Janju Badu Nane Yap Sonje Dage Soke Person Tola Benje Sangye Dupa Jo Sangye Chedan Soke Sonam Sanjo Badu Dane Yap Sonje Dage Soke Person Tola Benje Sangye Dupa Sangye Chedan Soke Sonam La Janju Badu Dane Yap Sonje Dage Soke Person Tola Benje Sangye Dupa. Okay. Good. Okay. So today, I think our main topic of concentration, dependent origination. Dependent origination in there's a little bit difference in Kharsa. Chandrakirti view and Nagarjuna or non-Nagarjuna. Kasa. Yeah, Nagarjuna. Yeah, so Nagarjuna, Chandrakirti view little bit different. But anyway, here and there, we don't get too much into the schools, otherwise get too confusing. So we will discuss, discuss on that. Then through that, I think one of the many ways of establishing the view of emptiness. Yeah, all the things that we have been talking now are also meditations, concepts, means, methods to establish the understanding or establish the non-understandingness of what we say, the lack of intrinsic nature, to understand what emptiness is. So through that, within the Madhyamaka, sixth chapter, I think, then comes down to the, they call it the four analysis. Yeah, the four analysis. So utilizing the four analysis. So so there's thousands of different logical or not logical, analytical methods to establish. But within all of those, then they say the what do we say, the four analysis, the method of the four analysis is the most profound or the most clear one. So yeah, now we are on our third day. Third day. Yeah. Third day. Then yeah. Oh, yeah, fourth day. Here is a third day. Okay, fourth, already fourth day. Okay. So Chandrakirti, what we say, very consciously, not consciously, what we say, analytically presents dependent origination as the key to unlock the view of emptiness or understanding emptiness itself, not, or what we say, the nature of emptiness. Yeah, so the view, the nature, and the emptiness itself. So Chandrakirti, this one, the dependent origination is one of the most excellent way to develop. Yeah, so within the scripture, it said that dependent origination is the only way you can make sense of things. We have change, we have dependence, we have permanent, we have impermanent, we have karma, we have all of this. Then how do we make sense of all of this? Yeah, different religion have different reason. Different religion have different reasons to how to make sense of these things. Now we have questions about past or the future, whether there is that, whether there is the whole concept of, I think, past life and next life also comes in this same thing. We wonder whether there's past life or next life. We wonder whether there's continuity. We wonder what's going on here, what's going on there, why there's so much suffering, why there's war, why there's that way. Yeah, these are all questions that we have. Why is the earth the way it is? Why do we experience cold? Why do I have a body? Why do I have a mind? And so on and so on. Yeah, these are the questions we always trying to figure out why. So different religion have different answers to that. Then within the philosophical aspect of Buddhism, then Chandrakirti pinpoint down that dependent origination. That's the answer to everything. Yeah, that's one. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So coming to that, then asking what is dependent origination, then I think there's clear indication that it's not a what we say metaphysical speculation. A lot of the things that we intend to do in our life, most of the things, when we don't have an answer to it, then it is a speculation. We give a speculated answer to things. Maybe like this, maybe like that. I don't know, they say it is like that. Oh, I don't know, they say it's like that. These are all speculation. Yeah. Then within speculation, and then it's arising, speculation arising through doubt, which is good. But then when the doubt is not clarified, then it becomes speculation. Speculation, assumption. So what it is, what the whole thing leading, understanding dependent origination in order to what we say, in order to understand emptiness. That one is not not a speculation. Yeah. So generally, Tegzum, we have Tengyugi Tegzum, Tenmiyugi Tegzum, Chanyambe Tegzum. Tengyugi Tegzum is like doubt that is more. What is it? First is Tenmiyugi Tegzum. Tenmiyugi Tegzum is doubt that is not. There's no sureness in it. So when even with doubt, it's like a little bit of sureness, like maybe, oh, I saw him go out of the gate, so yeah, possibly he went to the stupa. It's just like little bit, there is some sense of maybe there because he went out. Then other one is seeing him in root institute and then say, yeah, he went to the stupa. Now you don't even know he went out of the gate or not, but still the speculation, the doubt is, yeah, maybe he went. Chanyambe Tegzum is you don't know if he is in Bodh Gaya or not, but then you say, yeah, maybe he's at the stupa. That's Chanyambe Tegzum. Different levels of what we say, of making the assumption on the concept of contemplation. Now what we need is yes, I saw him in the stupa, so he is in the stupa. That's what we need. Clear. And this comes out of actually, this is coming out, when it comes to practice, this comes out of your own ability to contemplate. If the contemplation is not there, then even if led step by step, point by point, even if there's a whole, what do you call that? Like the wheel of life, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then within that, then 12 dependent origination, then within that, the karmic expression, then within that, the emotion, the root ignorance. So there's like a whole picture there. But if you're not willing to think, then it's just a picture. It's just a beautiful drawing. But then when you're understanding meaning from inside, then you can, oh yes, this is this and this is this, and the understanding starts to appear. Yeah? So what do we call? We cannot rely on metaphysical speculation. That is very clear. But then we tend to do this all the time. Whether there's a logical side to it or not, that one we never contemplate. We never look. Maybe it's our laziness. Maybe it's that we think that we don't have the ability. Yeah, putting oneself down too low, that we think, this is what is the word? This is beyond my comprehension, is it? This is beyond my comprehension. Only like enlightened mind can understand it. So I'm not even going to try. Or maybe because it's too much. Confidence in something that you don't know clearly. Then again, the same thing happens. So consideration in regards to your own understanding. This one, anyway. Chandrakirti say that we cannot rely on metaphysical speculation. So this concept of dependent origination, in order to establish emptiness, the view of emptiness, and nature of emptiness, this one, no metaphysical speculation. This one is very clear. So this is clear in the sense that it is a means to liberate insight and aim to cutting the root of samsara. Yeah. So if the goal is to be happy, to achieve joy, to achieve peace, to achieve what we call liberation, then this gives a very clear answer to that. So anyway, when it comes to the cutting the root to the samsara, then at the end of the day, of course, root ignorance. But then here, when it comes to the view of emptiness, then the preciseness of the practice goes down to grasping and inherent existence. Yeah. So I think we talked a lot about grasping and inherent existence yesterday, and maybe a little bit clearer picture. Yeah, a little bit clearer. Then you had your discussion, then even more clearer. Yeah. So that one is there. The concept of grasping an inherent existence being the root of being the the main reason behind why the whole samsaric expression is there. And then even though it is there, then you need to be able to cut those ties or those roots. I think this example of the root we use everywhere, and not just in Dharma, everywhere, because the tree depends on the root. The moment you cut the root, then the tree ceases to exist, or not cease to exist, but dies off. Yeah, so that is there.
So also this same concept established. I think the first means of establishing the concept of dependent origination is in the context of explaining the Four Noble Truths. Yeah, the Four Noble Truths is Yudibu. Cause effect. Yeah. Then based on that also explained, the Four Noble Truths explained. So dependent origination is already there. Yeah. Called the Lamde effect. Effect of what? Practicing path. So the truth of the path. Then Dungal Dempa effect. Effect of what? Yukunjung. So we say Yukunjung. The cause is the cessation. So they already show very clearly how dependent origination also is established within the Four Noble Truths. No difference between the establishment of Yu and Debu. Truth of suffering, then cause of suffering we say. Yeah, cause, then cessation, then path. Cessation, cause to the path. So exact same method, I think. And that same principle of cutting the root also comes within that as well. When we say then cause to suffering, when we talk about the cause to suffering, in there's the inherent existing I, the grasping I is there. That's what it talks about, mainly. Root ignorance and grasping attitude. Yeah? Dado duba, demba duba. Da rangsing duba. The self arising on its own. Inherently existing. Inherentness of the I. And through that inherentness then comes, because it is inherent, because there's also reasoning behind that, because it is inherent, therefore it matters, therefore it is a focus of my need, therefore it is a focus of my greed. And then even the inherent existence is very sort of like I said, when you look from what do we say? When you look from an experiential point of view, when you look at a conventionality in our existence, that it's so real. Relative to what the understanding, the in-depth understanding behind it is, the experience is completely different. We cut everything aside. All the links that are tied to the experience, we cut everything. Then after cutting everything, what are you going to experience? You are going to experience the inherentness, So anyway, so this concept established not in the concept of dependent origination, but in the concept of cause and effect in the first teaching itself. Then throughout the different teachings, then comes the concept of paramika, madhyamaka. Then there's the concept of vinaya. What is it? The teachings of vinaya, abhidhamma. And all of this, again, same factor, goes down to dependent origination. Yeah. How do you can translate? So the wisdom, the ultimate form of wisdom when it comes to wisdom application, then is tende, dependent origination. The ultimate form of establishment of whatever, whether it be establishment of the view of emptiness, nature of emptiness, the concept of what we say, of existence, whatever it may be. Again, dependent origination. So I think dependent origination is one of the core topics that everyone, whether interested in that, some interested in what we say tantra, some interested in that, some interested in this, but the tendril is the link, what we say, the string that goes through each and every one of those practices. Common thread. Yeah, common thread. Common thread. And without the tendril, nothing established. You cannot establish the concept of tantra being logical. And like Chandrakirti said, this is not to establish metaphysical speculation. This is not to establish intuition. This is not to establish those things. This is in order to establish clear understanding. So yeah. So what is it? Dependent origination? Yeah. So this is why dependent origination, Chandrakirti say, as the key to unlock emptiness and what we say. And then through unlocking the emptiness, then what do we say? What we say? The dependence. Now, through dependent origination, again, I think this is where the whole thing becomes a little bit sort of like what do we say? all over the place. But anyway, dependent origination is the key to unlock dependent origination is the key to unlock the view of emptiness. Then the emptiness is only way to make dependent origination make sense. Without emptiness, then dependent origination also does not make sense, because like I said, everything feels so real. When you're engrossed in the so realness, then dependent origination again doesn't make sense. So the way to make sense of dependent origination is through emptiness. So anyway, we go deeper into that. Then comes arising thought. So arising through what is it? Arising through cause and condition and path and mental designation. So the concept behind understanding dependent origination. What is dependent origination? Then comes the thought of arising. Thought of what we call keba. Keba is what? Arising, existing. Born. So you can use whatever more more link to your understanding. Keba. When you talk about phenomena, compounded phenomena, then keba, neba, jigba, kinejik. Then this one again different schools. Some say kijik, some say kinejik. So this one again different. Keba, neba, jigba means to be born, to what we say exist, and then to die. This is kinejik. Then kijik is on the concept of momentary. So in order to establish the concept of impermanence, kijik is extremely important. The whole understanding of kijik is very important. But this one, I think now much more easier to prove. 2700, 800, I don't know. And when Buddha was alive, then that time, even though wisdom was very high and this, then technology was not as advanced as now. So on molecular level change, momentary second, that time I don't think, maybe millisecond, maybe a little bit hard to conceive. How many milliseconds in a second? Thousands. 1,000 milliseconds. That time I think that one little bit hard. So within the scripture also, I think try to make break down milliseconds. Then normally we use the Q thamba, second thamba, when snap of the hand like this is supposed to represent a second. Then this one is divided into supposed to be divided into 65 different sort of like timelines within it. Yeah, so I think that one. But now within this, then we have 1,000. Now it's from 65 gone to 1,000. So we have 1,000 milliseconds now. Yeah. So anyway, concept of that arising. Yeah. So even that establishing the concept of gauging is very, very, important in establishing the whole concept of impermanence as well. And dependent origination is based on impermanence. Impermanence again based on dependent origination. So that one also very clear. Now, only thing that dependent origination covers that is not kichik is the concept of takpa, permanence. We say emptiness is permanent. Yeah, so you need to rely on dependent origination to understand emptiness. You can't rely on you can't rely on gauging to understand emptiness. Yeah, because gauging is just a form of going by. 1 second, 2 seconds is like going by. So this is gauging, just a form of birth and death. That's gauging. One part of yourself being born and the other part of yourself dying, and that happening in a very short momentary. Yeah, they say we change ours every second. How many cells we change in our body? So that is the sense of gauging. So dependent origination, in order to understand dependent origin, definitely establishment of gauging is important. But then emptiness cannot through the establishment of gauging. There's no chaos, there's no jigpa in the concept of emptiness, but there is dependence. That's different. Yeah, and through that dependence, development of the view of emptiness. So we make that just clear. So anyway. So through the arising part, arising, and then cause and condition, arising through cause and condition. Yeah, so we need to understand that nothing arises without dependence. Yeah, everything arises based on dependence. If not dependent, then cease to arise. Yeah, so that one. So nothing arises without. Then if then if form is of its own, if form, structure, shape, impermanence, right? Any form of impermanence, body, whatever you want to look, if that is of its own, independent of its own meaning, if it is independent, then it wouldn't need a cause. Why would it need a cause? Yeah, if you can survive independently, then you don't need support. It's like saying if you can fly in the space, if you can, then no dependence on the ground. Yeah, so this concept that if nothing arises, then form itself has to be existent on its own. Natural, its own nature has to be of non-arising, as we say. Yeah, its own nature has to be non-arising. Rangshing maduba. Then rango, the existence of the self itself, then you cannot pinpoint, right? So therefore, couldn't exist. So therefore couldn't exist, cannot exist in that sense. Need cause. Yeah, as long as form, so form is more easy to see. So when you say form, then form needs to Form is cause, based on cause. Then if form is based on cause, then it cannot be on its own. Yeah, for causes means dependent on something else. You don't say generally we say yes, yeah, the cup, the paper, the whatever, and this clock, yeah, we say the clock is cause, the clock is condition. This clock is a cause, this clock is a condition, this clock is an action, this clock is a reaction. So existence in one, everything existence in one. But then the question is this clock the cause of this clock? No, now it's changing. So what is the cause of this clock? Then we have to see something else. If you are your own cause, then different. But not that, that's not the case. Yeah, every form cause, yes, condition. But cause of what? Then comes the question. Cause of what? Cause of something else. Condition of what? Condition of, yes.
Good morning. What are the causes and conditions for the independent sense of self?
Cause and conditions of the?
Or the independent sense of self, the sense of self, a permanent sense of self.
Grasping.
So the need of the mind to grasp.
Yeah, to identify. Yeah, strong, I need to grasp based on the strong identification.
And that need comes from the need of surviving.
This need now root ignorance, a delusion, the inability to understand things. Like I said, the mind is not expanded enough. Yeah. So if you have, it's like this. Yeah. If you in the old, maybe also nowadays racing horse, maybe they do, I don't know. But when you have a horse and you want the horse to go straight, what do? You put two things like this so that it doesn't see anything else. You know that? So my teacher used to say, because I'm very stubborn, in debate, I'm very stubborn. So my teacher used to say, you are like a horse that has this. Huh? Blinded? Blinders, yeah. So blinders like this, yeah. So blinders. So ignorance is like blinders. Focus only on what's in front of you, focusing only on what's important to you, focusing only on the sense of your emotions and your physical being.
So at that state of evolution, we can. At that state of when our mind is at that point of evolution, we cannot do any better because that's the level of our ignorance or the level of our wisdom.
No, this is again nihilism. Oh, I can't do, I shouldn't do, because this is how we are existing. This.
It's impossible to do better, but because of those blinders, there's no other way. If you have that ignorance, then that's the natural way to be, because you cannot do any better. Not that you will not be able to do any better, but because you have those blinders.
Yes. So because of that, then you only see one way. Yeah, even in the case, whatever case it may be, you're only supporting your benefit. Yeah, this is because you are right there. You are the most precious item there. Yeah, like yesterday we are talking about what is precious to you. For some people, the body is precious, so they let go of their mental health in order to gain body, good body or whatever. Then some people, the mind is more important, so in order to get the mind, then they completely let go of the body. And this is like the practice I told you about Buddha. Yeah, before 6 years sitting there under a tree because want to get some kind of answer, then completely, disregardance of the body. So whatever in front of you, you see most importance there, you blinded towards that. Then there's no consideration, there's no options, as we say. Then when the options don't appear, then the problem then becomes, because the dependence of the options are there, but because you don't even consider, then you don't see the dependence. But whether you say I'm dependent, or whether you say I'm not dependent, still just because the nature is dependent origination, so dependence is there. Yeah, I can say, oh, I don't care about the weather, I don't depend on the weather. Does that change whether the weather? That doesn't change. No? Yeah? The weather is not going to change based on how I like it or how I want it. Yeah? People, same thing. You have people, we need to depend on people. Then I say, but they're not listening, they don't care, so I don't, nothing. But still, effect is there. This is the thing with the world right now. The whole world, dependence on each other is there, but because everyone doesn't want to depend on each other, then chaos. So something like that, I think. Makes sense? Yeah. So therefore, what do you say? Cause and condition. Yeah, nothing arises without cause and condition. Then if form is without cause and condition, then it cannot, what do we say, if form is of its own, so without cause and condition means without dependence. Without dependence means inherent, that's where the inherentness is, right? Without dependence. So without that, then you cannot say it's of cause. So that is clear. Now the second one, I think, parts. Yeah, so all composite phenomena depend on parts. All, whether you like it, whether you don't like it, this is nothing to do. Yeah, this is why sometimes the truth is a little bit hitting because we want to do, how I like it, how I want it, how I feel like, what my mind thinks, what my mind accepts. Reality doesn't care about that. Yeah, reality is reality. It doesn't care about how you want to see things, how you want to. This is why I say this is the blindness. Yeah? Then we're only focusing on this. Then how appearance is still affecting. And this is, and I think people understand this. So this is why even they say, you shouldn't turn a blind eye, or what do you say, something like that. They normally use the word the earth. Yeah, the earth. There's two ways of thinking of this, but on one perspective we say, yeah, the earth, we are destroying the earth, we are cutting down the trees, we are hurting the animals, yeah, we are changing the geological structure, we are changing everything, yeah, from what it was now completely different. We have thousands and thousands and thousands of what do you call area. Acres, thousands and thousands of acres that we completely cut down the trees and build huge buildings, now full of dust and smoke. And this one I can see in Kathmandu very clearly. When it stops to rain, then now you go to Kathmandu, it's like a huge, thick level of fog just covering the whole valley. Pollution. So yeah, so then what we say environmentalists. Yeah, so then environmentalists, they say, oh, cannot be blinded like this. It is affecting, yeah. Whether you want or not, you can say, no, I don't throw plastic here, I don't do that, I don't do this, I'm a good practitioner, I'm kind, I don't kill animals. But when thousands of others are doing, then it also affects you. Just because I don't do doesn't mean it doesn't affect you, it's affecting you. So this all is a combination of wisdom, understanding of reality. That you okay? Yeah. What happened? Oh, impermanence. Good. So yeah. So whether we like it or not, nature plays out, reality plays out as it is. Yeah, whether I say, oh, I am that and I am this, and oh yeah, even Buddha say, oh, I am Buddha. Yeah, nature going to affect in the same way. Yeah, so conditioning, therefore, very important to understand because it includes a lot of things that we personally are affected in many different ways. Yeah, now the world, I always say, the world now has shrunk down. And before it used to be so large. You want to go to one place to another, you need to travel in the ship for many days. Then you want to go pilgrimage. People from Nepal, they come pilgrimage to Bodh Gaya, India. A long time ago, they used to walk days and days and days. And this is between countries, but even within Nepal, that's not very long ago. Even my mother's time, they say they used to from the village they used to take 2 weeks to come to Kathmandu, walking, and they used to carry their own food, their own thing. So, but now, because transportation, everything, now you want to go to, I from Nepal here one day. Yeah, from here to America, 24 hours, 18 hours. So the world has shrunk. And now you see the dependence is very clear. Until now, we have been ignoring that dependency because, yes, it's too big to, sort of like coordinate, understand. But now we already see dependence is very important. Understanding the aspect of dependent origination, very important. Just to bring peace within the world, also very important, because we see that each other, what is happening here, affecting here. What is happening there, affecting here. Yeah, we need the tumongwa. Tumongwa is what? Common ground in understanding dependent origination. Understanding that we don't exist independently. We don't exist inherently. Yeah, makes sense? Yeah? Okay. So, cause and condition. So that is that. Then as I was saying, parts. So when it comes to parts, then all composite phenomena, all composite, composite phenomena depend on parts. What do we say? Parts. So nothing is, even though it seems identical, nothing is identical. Nothing is the same as its own parts. The self, the I, the body. The what do we say? The person. And the person is composite. Composite meaning coming together. This example I think very clearly mentioned in the text in regards to a person. Neither the eye is the person nor the nose is the person. Neither the hand is the person, neither the head is the person. The person is something completely separate from all of that. So they say similar to a chariot. In the old days they had chariots. Nowadays they still have? No. I don't think. Maybe some villages. Chariot. So it's something the cows and the donkeys and the bulls they pull. So if you take, even though all parts are existence, if you take the parts away and look for the chariot, you cannot find the chariot. Then one piece at a time you take away. Is the wheel the chariot? No. So you take away, is the horse the chariot? No. You take that away. Is the person, what do you say, on top of thing like this? Is he the chariot? No, you take him away. Is the wheel the chariot? No. So once you start taking things down, the parts away, then the existence ceases to exist. What we think, a chariot, it exists, that one ceases to exist. So the compoundedness, understanding the compoundedness, right? So that is there. So in that case, then we try to understand which part of it is the chariot, which part of this what we say composite site, which part of the composite site is the chariot. which part of the composite side is the person, which part of the composite side is the self, the I. Yeah, like I said, when you have this, then I. But then, where's the I? Who's the I? What is the I? I don't know. Only dependence is on the labeling part. And the labeling part also changes. What we say is subjected to change. One day Peter is the small kid. Then after a few years, the Peter is not the small kid anymore. Peter is a grown up. And then after a few years, then that grown up Peter is the old person. So you say, oh yeah, grown up, change again. So even in the labeling is, you cannot depend on the labeling, because the labeling always changing, subjected to change based on the parts itself. So there again, no reliance on where the person is. So separate from all parts, then cease to exist. So the existence is not in the separation, the existence is not on the inherently, the existence in the compilation, dependency. Does that make sense? The existence is based on the dependency. Because of the dependency of the parts, then the existence comes into play. So now you start to see, even existence itself, person, composite phenomena, composite, things. Then the existence of the composite things is what? On dependency of the different parts. If you think is non-dependent and inherent, then it has to come. You need to find it somewhere. At some point, right? Once you go searching, you have to find it. Because you say it's inherent, it's there. Then you have to find it, then where is it? So the only way that it comes into existence is when you put everything together and you understand the dependency. Your labeling of the person is on the dependency of the parts. Then comes the existence. So parts. So understanding this also, I think, so that which has parts but cannot be separated from it in order to identify. Something that has parts. Something that has parts, and that you cannot separate it from any part in order to identify it. Dependence. That's what dependence is. Identification is dependent on parts when it comes to composite phenomena. Makes sense? So so no person apart. So there's no person apart, and then there's no person identical. So there's no person apart, there's no person identical. You cannot depend on the state of identical. I think this one will come more down there when it comes to the four analysis. We go deeper into it. So anyway, that is there. Then the mental and designation. Only as so mental designation is on the basis of only as existence, only as designated. Then only in dependence on the mind that imputes. So the only on the basis of that, then we start to see. So mental designation based on that. So when it comes to cause and condition, or when it comes to what is dependent origination on the mental side, then it's on the designated side, where that's where the merely labeled, the term merely labeled comes. In terms of existence, then it's merely labeled. And then also you cannot depend on the label, because the label, like I said, changes. Every time changes. And we think label doesn't change. We think, Charok is Charok. That's the label. given to me and Charok existence. But then because the form changes, then the recognition of that label also changes. Whether it's just Charok, the label is just Charok, still recognition changes. So I show a picture of Charok when he was very small. As a toddler, I show the picture, then, this is you are. Then the question arises. Yeah. Because we are not used to the designation, label of designation. So there you already see, also that you cannot rely on. That is dependence on the change of the object. Yeah, subjective side is changed. Subjective understanding is changing on the base of the object changing itself, or changing on its own, on its side. So the only thing is now you say, depend. The only thing is now only in dependence on the mind that imputes. Then comes the understanding of this person, that, this, the stupa, the monastery, the that, the this. Yeah. So anyway, so that one. Arising, when it comes to arising, understanding arising, then the arising of cause and condition, the arising of part, then the arising of mental designation. Yeah? So these three combined together, now you understand, arising in the concept of dependent origination is dependent on all of these things. So without dependence on any of these things, then the arising itself ceases to exist. And then if the arising itself ceases to exist, then the object of arising also has to cease to exist. Yeah, then we say Chedadal Humba. Then you are going. So anyway, through that, then understanding. Now we go Nagarjuna core inside. Emptiness. So whatever is dependent arising, the dependent arising is empty. Then whatever is empty is dependent arising. So this one, I think yesterday we also mentioned, you cannot separate the non-dual aspect of understanding. That has to be there, because emptiness is not understanding beyond dependent arising. Emptiness is understanding dependent arising itself. Understanding nature, understanding the nature for what it is. That is emptiness. Yeah. So like mentioned, if you're looking for some kind of metaphysical explanation, understanding, awareness, some kind of, this is nothing there. Emptiness. So I think when Nagarjuna and Chandrakirti explains the view of emptiness, it seems so easy. Yeah. The only hard part is, I think, our mind making it hard to understand. Our mind still, the inherentness is still there. So now we're looking for the inherentness of the emptiness, and we're so holding on to something like that, and we are trying to look for something like that. Okay, empty, non-inherent, the I, the existence, dependent origination, yes, okay, but then where's the emptiness? Still the inherentness is there. We're still looking for something. So this is very clearly within Nagarjuna and Chandrakirti explanation. This has, I think, this is many times mentioned, that the establishment of understanding it is that is non-separate. You are non-separate from your aggregates are non-separate from you. Your label is dependent on the aggregates, your aggregates is dependent on the label. You are no other than the aggregates, and the aggregates are no other than you. Now the only understanding we need is it's the dependence of the aggregate that is bringing up the parts, or the cause and condition, the parts, and the labeling, the mental, understanding of it. Make sense?
So, that I'm hearing you. So everything in the existence is dependent on something. Since nothing is independent, so that is emptiness. You know, you are saying emptiness
Yes,
is
yes.
dependent arising.
Yes,
dependent
yes, yes.
arising is emptiness.
Yes.
So since there is nothing which is
Independent. Therefore, emptiness.
therefore, you know, this is the interpretation of emptiness. Emptiness is nothing beyond this. But since nothing exists
Yes.
without depending on something,
Yeah.
that means it's empty.
Yes.
Thank you. I thought it's so simple. How can I understand this?
Yeah, simple, yeah.
It's too simple. This is too simple.
Too simple. Good.
So I understand and hear your point when you talk about something physical like a chariot, that the composite is dependent on the parts. So then what happens if you logically take that all the way down? So you have a chariot that's made of all these parts, including a wheel. You have a
We
wheel
don't
that's
find.
made out of wood, all the way down to atoms and subatomic particles. And the subatomic particles, physics might say, is all vibration.
Yeah, we don't find. We still don't find the chariot. You can go, no matter how subatomic you want to go, you can go, but you still won't find the chariot.
Right, but I'm going beyond the chariot to say that you're saying that everything is composed of parts.
Yes.
So then what's the ground level of that? Or is there any ground level? Like, for example, in physics, we would say it's subatomic particles, which are then made of waves or something. So does Buddhism talk about that?
Yes. So, Duten Chorki Chame. So, Duten is what? Duten is small, like atoms. Yeah? Atoms, you call? Duten? Du is like compound, then tamo is very, very subtle compound. So this talk about like that subtle compound. Then within this, then there's different ideas and understanding subatomic level within the different schools. Yeah. Then whether there's Duden Choki Chame, Shepa Tuki Chame, even forget about this is physical. Even forget about physical. Even non-physical aspects they say can be broken down. Yeah. This is where Shepa Tuki Chame comes. The mental factor. When it comes to Shepa, the mental factor, then you are breaking down based on time. Yeah, so subatomic level, even after the I think maybe even after the physical sense is gone, then there's also timing subatomic level as well within that. The existence, one existence. So just like I mentioned earlier, Keba, Neba, Jikpa, this is what we normally, the time I was born, the time I'm existing, and the time I'm dying, that's one. Now you go down, you can break that time into that exact same subatomic level. But if you are breaking it down in order to search for something, that you cannot find. So this dependent origination and the view of emptiness is based on that.
So is my understanding then that Buddhism would say that there's no ground to it. It's just you can keep looking and you'll keep finding something that composes that thing that you're looking at.
No. There is an end to finding. I mean, if you physical thing, there is an end to finding. This is where Duden Choki Chame. Choki Chame means where there is no north, no east, no south, no west. In the Chok is what you call direction. There's no. So you break, you come to a point where you cannot explain, oh, this is the north, this is the south, this is the west, this is the, because normally based on that we are able to define form. And form like this, then you can say, oh, up, down, left, right. So based on that we can define form. So in the Buddhist perspective, the Choki Chame, the concept of Choki Chame is there in certain schools. And Choki Chame means it is so small that you cannot tell whether it's upside or downside or left side or right side. That ceases to exist, sort of thing. Yes. Huh?
You cannot have an independent basic particle because every particle has directionality, so it can link up, it can relate with other particles. So there is no inherent ground particle.
Yes.
If that is what Adam was meaning, I'm not sure if that's what you meant.
So different schools have different concept. in regards to representing this idea. Then prasangika, yeah, prasangika, madhyamika. No, prasangika. Through the idea of prasangika, then establishment of that is there. So even though you break down, then there's always the side to where you can see the dependence on. Yeah, our dependence of molecular level, it's inherent itself. But then within the Dharma perspective, like I just mentioned, dependence on north, east, south, west, dependence on space between that, between atoms, that is also there. Yeah, you look at an atom. Yeah, you have the proton, neutron. Is it proton, neutron? Yeah, photon and neutron. Then amount of proton and neutron, that defines what atom it is. Then within the proton, neutron, then the amount of what do you call? Electro, yeah, surrounding it, that also defines. Now dependence on that is also there. Then if you don't go into, yes.
Sorry, Rinpoche. According to quantum physics, which I hardly understand, but it seems that there is no such thing as an atom, because sometimes it behaves like a particle, sometimes it behaves like a wave. So then there is nothing we can really call this is an atom from its own side. It depends on what kind of experiment is used, and it behaves differently. So there's no inherent particle at all.
Yes,
it seems.
Yeah, defining very hard, I think. Defining what is very hard, because subjected to change, then because subjected to change, then subjected to condition. Then when the condition changes, then the object itself changes. It's like a person, no? You say, oh, this person very kind. Then you put this person in a room full of angry people, then suddenly this person also becomes angry. Yeah, so it's subjected to the conditions around us. So dependent in that also concept, I think, dependent origination. Make sense?
I think so.
I think good topic to discuss. Yeah, you can discuss that.
If everything in conventional reality is empty and emptiness is always there, why is emptiness not permanent?
Who say emptiness not permanent?
Emptiness is permanent?
Yeah.
Okay.
Emptiness is permanent. Yeah. So whatever is dependent arising is empty. Whatever empty is dependent arising. Yeah. So this is on the so the concept of whatever is dependent arising is empty. This one, I think, prevent the concept of nihilism. Yeah. So like we talked yesterday in regards to nihilism and eternalism. So just to make clear that when Nagarjuna says that whatever is dependent on whatever is dependent arising is empty, that one prevents the concept of nihilism. Then whatever is empty is dependent origination. This prevents eternalism. So I think So I think based on that concept. So when empty, then the nature of empty becomes dependent. Yeah? Therefore, you cannot rely on the empty part. Yeah, the reliance on the empty part completely gone. Yeah, empty, then non-existent. Empty, then ceases to exist. Empty, then ceases to depend. Yeah, because the moment depend comes, then existence comes. Existence only comes through dependence. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So therefore, whatever is dependent arising is empty, and whatever is empty is dependent arising. So now we are dependent on break. We have break, you have tea, then we come back. Okay? Okay? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so we go through the 4 analysis, and through that, then after that, maybe a little bit of question answer. Yeah. Then daytime, similar to yesterday, methods of practice of in regards to what we talked about today. After your discussion, then you discuss, talk about it, and after that we go into the practice, just like yesterday. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So yeah. So whatever dependent arising is empty, then whatever is empty is dependent arising. Yeah. This you're going to hear a lot, repetition as a reminder. So now, why inherent existence is impossible? Inherent existence is impossible. So no change if things were truly fixed. So now I think we go more deeper into the logic of inherent existence. So we are here, we are trying, like it says, dependent origination is the answer to why, why the grasping is not there, why the grasping is not existence by itself, why the grasping is not inherent, why the grasping is dependent. So therefore, something that is subjected to change, then you can't really rely on it. Yeah, because of the subjected to concept, non-subjective, because the concept of non-reliance. Therefore, we see the perspective or the permanent view from that. So whatever you like, whatever you dislike, that is based also on that, right? You have gold, you have silver, you have posh, yeah, posh things. Now many posh things. Let me see if I can remember. What was the bag that we talked about? Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton bag that you pay $25,000. Then that one. Yeah. So the concept of understanding that this is subject to change. Yeah. Whether it's you pay 25,000, whether you pay 5,000, subject to change. When there is conditioning in destruction within that, then no matter how much you pay, the same destruction applicable there. Yeah, seems like, but this is more valuable, and this I paid more, and this is that, and this is this, that it is more permanent, more, that concept is there. Someone I know got these really good shoes, expensive climbing shoes. Then because expensive, then don't want to use. Keep in the, what is it? Keep in the store. Yeah, very nicely packed, clean packed, then keep in the store. Then 5 years, 6 years. Then after 5 years, 6 years, you look, then the soul already come out. So impermanence in the reality. Yeah. So anyway, logically, when we're thinking that, then the concept of inherent existence being impossible, no change if things were truly fixed. So definitely that is there, right? If things were truly fixed, then cannot expect change. Yeah. If inherent, then no dependence. If no dependence, then not subjected to change. Subjected means dependence. Change is based on subjected. So therefore, no subjected, then no change. Then, so if things were truly fixed, just like our mind sees, yeah, just like our experiences. Yeah, when you are in a problem, when you are in trouble, and fear and anxiety, that all comes out. And the mind is always thinking, I'm stuck, I'm finished. And this is where the concept of, I think a lot of people, in the West, also in the East here, also India, also I think happened. Suicide rate nowadays going up very, very, very high, and everywhere happening. Japan, India, Nepal, in the West, in Europe, everywhere people killing themselves, suicide. The reason why is because that inherent nature of the condition that they are in, the experience of the inherent nature that the condition they are in, cannot, it just seems like cannot change. Yeah, so grasping towards that unchanging nature, grasping towards that inherent nature. If we say, if you could see the future and if you could see the change, then the grasping will disappear. And this is what happens. People come when they have problem, they go to Lama, who do divination. Then, oh yeah, after 2 years, problem disappeared. Then, oh, feel better. This happens. Court case, then first thing they want to go, they go to some Lama who do, then, yeah, what is going to happen? They want to know. Then, if they see subjected to change, then, okay, there's more calmness, relaxation. When they see inherentness, oh, this court case is going to go on for a very long time, then freak out. Yeah, so the inherentness that creates that. So, if things were truly fixed, then they cannot be changed. Then, if there's no change, then no dependency. Then, if no dependency, then no transforming. Yeah, so transforming dependence based on dependency, and dependency based on change. That one based on the concept of impermanence. This is why this morning we worked on establishing strong understanding of the view of impermanence, and the reason is because of that. Because also through the concept of dependent origination, you need to establish impermanence. And the permanent view, and that it seems for us it seems like illusion. One perspective we take, it seems like tapa, it cannot change. Then other perspective, then our mind utilizing in the way it wants to. When it wants to see Tangzi, then it establishes the tapas and the tawa. When it wants to establish impermanence and mitakpa, then it just seems to grasp onto the idea of mitakpa. Yeah, beauty, good things, this, then always Tangzin. Yeah, good things, then Tangzin. Bad things, then we say, oh yeah, change. Need to change. Then we try to establish the cause and conditions in order to change it. And so this is like inner manipulation in some ways. Yeah, our own mind playing games with our own concept and thoughts in order to manipulate so that it can get what it wants. And that happening because of the grasping. Make sense? Yeah. So therefore, no transformation, then no dependence. No dependence, no change. Then that only happens if it's not fixed. Yeah. If things were truly, if things were truly fixed, then that would happen. So therefore, I need, because there's change, because there's dependency, because there's transformation, because there's change, therefore things are not fixed. Yeah, that one, no change if things were truly fixed. Then if things existed on their own, then there's no cause. Yeah, this is Rangmanituba, Rangshingituba, Tendambaruduba. Yeah, so if the ultimate nature exists in itself, yeah, the ultimate nature, yeah, if it exists in itself, if it's independent of everything, yeah, then if it exists from its own side, yeah, that if it's like that, that definitely makes sense to have that inherent view, but it's not like that. Yeah, because it's not like that, because there's change, because there's reliance, because there's product. Yeah, ourselves, we rely on our aggregates. This one we can experience with our own perspective. We logically thinking, meditating, we see that yes, I'm relying on my aggregates. I'm conveying whatever little I know to you based on my aggregates and utilizing it. Without the base of the mouth, then speech cannot happen. Yeah, without the base of the eye, then cannot see. So reliance is there even in that form. So therefore, they do not exist on their own. They exist dependently. So to establish these two understandings, then made easy, then Nagarjuna concept of the four analysis. Yeah, dismantling all possible theories of true arising. Yeah, so now we see the true nature, the inherent existence there. Like I said, the inherent existence is here and there all the time. Normally, when it doesn't need, then non-inherent. Yeah, we have impermanent view. We have that, and because of impermanence, then we start to make decisions, change. So that is there. Impermanent view is there. But then when the mind grasping is there, then the permanent view starts to come up. Yeah. So now in order to deal with that, then they arise. So on the basis of that, then the whole concept is in order to dismantle all possible theories of the true arising. Not in the time of unnecessary time, like not when you feel like relax, calm, yes, in what we say, impermanent change. Yeah, when you're embracing impermanent, when you're embracing change, when you're embracing death, when you're embracing all of this, then no problem. There you don't have a problem. There's no grasping, there's no problem there. The problem arising the moment when the grasping starts, then you see, oh, beauty, I want it. Good smell, I want it. Good taste, this is mine. So there, then starting. Yeah, greed, lust, so on and so forth, all of this starts. So therefore, the whole concept of the four analysis based on the Madhyamaka is to understand that is to dismantle all possible theories of the true nature of existence that we experience. Yeah, you need to break them down, make it easier to let go. Without breaking down, if you try to negate, then there's a problem of going into nihilism, completely negate. There's an experience. When you negate that experience, then some practitioners, they go extreme. Then they negate their own existence. I don't matter. Yeah, without the right mindset, I say only bodhisattvas can practice the concept of I don't matter. If you're a human being, now if you're a bodhisattva, okay. But if you're a human being, you need to accept that you matter. Your importance is there. Yeah, so the balance of practice also comes through the understanding of this, the four analysis. Yeah, so there. So within that, dalemai, shelemai, ilemai, yumemi. Yeah, yeah, so that established the concept of dependent origination. Dalemai, it's not born from self. Yeah, dalemai. So if it's born from self, then it would already exist. Because self already exists. Self is there. So if it's born from self, then it would already exist. There's no need to prove that it exists. And this is the concept that we have, that it already exists. A strong. So this is where we say most biggest problem is the born from the self. Yeah, born from the self. This is the problem, because when you consider the self, then we think, it already exists. It's born from the self. It's there. Yeah, so that one. So if it is Dalya Mahi, so if it is, if it's self, then it will already exist. But the concept behind it is, one thing cannot be born from the same thing. Existence of self cannot come from the self. Because if it come from the self, then it has to apply to everything. I don't say this clock is born from this clock. Does that make sense? This cup is born from this cup. There's no self-existence there. You can't integrate that idea of self-born because of that. This is where the question comes when we say Almighty God, then who created God? Yeah, we ask this question. Normally Buddhists ask this question. Yeah, you say God created everything, God created the humans, God created earth, God created joy, God created emotions, God created free will, God created everything. Then because it doesn't make sense in the concept of self-born. So then we say, who created God? And this is the reason this question coming up, because the non-existence of self-born. And this reason, because non-existence of self-born, reason behind it is because of dependent origination. Therefore, no self-born. Makes no sense that what do we say? That the seed is born from the seed. The seed comes from the fruit. We say, if I say seed is born from the seed, does that make sense? We cannot because the what is born, what the product is. The product is based on the subjective, or not subjective, the objective dependency. Cause. That's why we come up with cause and condition. So whether it be permanent, whether it be impermanent, whether it be true, whether it be non-true, whether it be nature, whether it be mind, everything, everything, what is it, all phenomena. You look at all phenomena. The dependency of one coming into existence because of itself, that is not there. Or one coming to the existence because of the, what do we say, of the dependency on itself, that also. Yeah, so therefore, if you this is one of the reasons why searching for the self becomes one of the practices. Yeah, that I think we went this morning when you talk about parts. Then searching within the aggregates for the self, because the self is there. It's born. It's, you can feel, you can understand. This is where the concept of I, me, and mine comes. So in order to understand that, then where does it come from? Yeah, so the born part. Yeah, so the born part, like I said, all phenomena cannot be born from itself. All phenomena to be born has to dependence on others. So for establishment of dependence on others, from the concept of non-self born, and that one negating the idea of oneself creating, being the creator of oneself. Yeah, so then there's no chain, no link. Has to happen simultaneously. If the cup is the reason, if the cup is born from the cup, then it has to come into existence simultaneously. If God created God, then God and the God itself has, the creation of the God has to happen simultaneously. Then if it's happening in the same moment, if it's simultaneous, then we don't use the word create. Yeah, because the concept of create comes after. So this one negates that concept of simultaneous, what do we say? Bornness. Forgive my English, yeah? My English all over the place. So, dale mai, yeah, neither from the self. Shele mai, neither from others. If born from others, just the concept of others, then then there's no, what we say, no specificness. Yeah, others is not specific. Can be born from anything. And this is again coming back to the theory of God and creation. If God, one thing can create anything it wants, then anything can create anything. Yeah, that concept again comes up. If one thing can create anything, and it's not specifically defined, yeah, like I said, no, for example, what do we say? Mango seed. Mango seed. If mango seed can create any kind of tree, then there is no dependency on specificness. So the concept of others disappears. Can be born from anything. That one we need to accept if it's born from others, if the concept of others come into play. And this one is not true. This one we can factually say, right? Yeah? Your kid can be only born from you, cannot be born from somebody else. Yeah? Like I said, mango seed only produce mango tree, cannot produce other things. This is the nature. This is why again origin, the concept of origin comes in. Origin is very particular, not what is the opposite of particular? Yeah, it's not general. Yeah, so to negate the idea of general production, then comes others. Yeah, so if born from others, then anything could arise from anything. Then no specific, then no relationship, then the dependent origination disappears. If anything, then there is no dependence on anything, right? So that is the concept. So it's not just the concept of born, or not just the concept of producing, it's the concept of specific production as well. So specification there. So the concept of being born from other, again, negated through that. And the reason, like I explained, the whole reason behind that negation is to understand that there is specificness there. The origin is important. And without the origin, just the dependence is not enough to prove the concept of emptiness, or the view of emptiness, or the nature of emptiness. So dependent origination. Make sense? Huh? So okay. So dale mai, shene mi. Then nile mai. So both. Nile mai. This one is water. Oh yeah, so dale mai, shele mai, yile mai. So with the concept of yile mai, then the concept of neither self nor others. Combination of both, we say. Yeah? Then born from the self, born from the others as well. Then again, I think the same theory as others, the concept of born for others. I mean, both theories can apply in that sense. If it's born from oneself and it's born from the others, then first you negate the concept of born from oneself. Then you negate the born from the other self. Then once both of those are negated, yeah, if something cannot be born from oneself and if something cannot be born from others, then how can it be born from both? This is impossible. Yeah, in order for both to be born from both, you need to be able to prove that is born from both. So now you have something completely impossible in your hands. So how can something be born from something that is impossible? Make sense? Yeah. So the third concept of born from both, that one also negated. Then gyumeme. Now comes the final concept, no cause. Then establishing randomness. Yeah? If it's born from no cause, then it has to be random. A cause is specific. Right? Conditioning is specific. Yeah? Like I say, if you want a tree to grow, then it has to be specific conditioning in order for the tree to grow. If you want a human being to survive, then the specific have to be conditions have to be specific for the survival. This is why we are so focused on very specific things. We are not worried about everything. Yeah? You look at your life, you're not worried about everything. If you had to worry about everything, then this will be a huge burden. And this is one thing I told my teacher a long time ago. I said Bodhisattva is a little bit hard because it seems like Bodhisattva going around worrying about everything. Yeah, true. If you study the Bodhisattva, Semgye is what? His holiness likes to call it the supreme emotion. I don't know what. Compassion, bodhicitta. So yeah, so this supreme emotion is supreme because it has the ability to to carry without being distracted. Supreme, carry without being influenced, carry without being infringed, carry without having all these dualistic views. We try to carry, then dualistic views apply, come up, then infringement, then integration, then make problem for ourselves. Yeah. So what was I saying? Yeah. So we are very we don't. It's not born on randomness. Yeah. So cause shows that it is not random. Specific. Specific needs, specific causes. Yeah, just because a dog can survive with dog food, then you think, oh, humans can also survive. They start feeding dog food to a human, then can become problem. Yeah, in that case, then even the fly, fly survive on human excretion. Doesn't mean you can feed human the excretion just because fly can survive on it. So there's no randomness. Make sense? Yeah. So when it comes to no cause, then yes, there is cause. It's not random. If it's random, then everything popping up everywhere. This is something I think also a lot established in other theoretical views. Within the philosophical aspect, then many theoretical views are introduced within the philosophical aspect of debate. It's not just the Buddhist theory that you need to, work with. You need to work with it. We have all kinds of minds. You have all kinds of theories. You have all kinds of views. You have all kinds of perspectives. You have all kinds of faiths. You have all kinds of, what do we say, attainments. So now we need to challenge every single one of them to be clear, so that there is no overlap. What you call overlap? Yeah. So there's no overlap. So within these many theories, then one of the theories is, I think, in regards to the appearance of randomness. And this one, I think, within the Buddhist theory also a little bit debated, because after you achieve certain attainments in the grounds and paths, then certain abilities you attain through those achievements. Even maybe not just ground and paths, even practicing shamatha and vipassana, there are a lot of attainments that are explained in there. Then a lot of the attainments seem very randomized. It seems like, the causes, there's no cause because it's random. When comes the Buddha nature, the what we say, not the Buddha nature, the tugu is what? Emanation. Emanation body. When it comes to tugu, then there's many manifestations that seem very random. Whether the emanation body is able to create random emanations, cause random things to appear in different places, this is debatable actually. We as Buddhists, we just say, oh yeah, Buddha can do anything. It's like the concept of Almighty in some concepts. but it is not that. So to refine that also very important. Just because you say I'm a Buddhist, so then Buddha Almighty, Buddha can create, Buddha can do that, Buddha can do whatever he wants. This is not that. It's not random. So even in that case, there is conditioning. Yeah, so it's not of cause. There is cause. So what the causes and how the causes and conditions come into play in regards to the what we say the manifestations, that one you just need to see whether there is randomness or not. If there is randomness, then you are not on the right path. Yeah. So even with Buddha, there is no randomness. Even with enlightenment, there is no randomness. Whether your mind is enlightened or not enlightened, no randomness is nature, dependent on nature of dependent origination. So you are not creating dependent origination. Dependent origination already there. You are depending on the concept of dependent origination in order to establish. So don't forget that one. So even when it comes, this is why I say, even if you're a practitioner, question, what we say, checking is very important. Just because, Buddha, then anyway, within the practice of Buddhism, then also there is in regards, because Buddhism, within the teaching of the Buddhism, when we say kusum tuksum, lunga isum, or not kusum, anyway, lunga isum, then in that, when it comes to the, what is it, when it comes to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, kusum tusum, ku normally represents the ku in Tibetan word is body, ku. So ku body. So because of that, then the representation, then we say, this is ku up here sitting like this. This is ku. But then actually, this my teacher, even His Holiness mentioned a few times, this is not the ku. This is just a representation of the ku. We're not idol worshipping concept. So if introduction of that, then there is a little bit of a mismatch in regards to this fourth cause, when we say no cause. So be careful, even in practice, then understand, thinking, this is the Buddha, this is the Buddha. That is not there. So anyway, very specific, So this one, I think, when you talk about non-randomness, that's one, I think, with our experience, we can tell very clearly that there is not random. We think it's random. From time to time, when the answer is not there, then first thing we say is random. But there's no such thing as randomness in the concept of what we say born, or in the concept of keva. Make sense? Yes. So so that so dale mai shele me nile mai gyume me. So through that, when you establish the concept of being keva, not being keva through self, nor others, nor the combination of the two, nor causeless, then you start to see, yes, it's not born from the self, it's not born from others, definitely not born from both. Like I said, what we say, something impossible born from something that is impossible makes no sense. So definitely, this is the easiest one to negate. It's the born from both. So that one definitely then is not born from causelessness. So where is it born from? It is born from cause. Then comes the establishment of dependent origination. The dependence and then the origination. The cause and the specificness. So through that, then I think that arising is conventional. Yeah, what do you say? The arising, the born, the action is conventional, but the nature of the action empty. Yeah, the action a dependent origination, but the nature of the action non-intrinsic, neither born from the self, nor born from others, nor born from both, nor born from causeless. So identifying that yes, they are born conventional. There is conventional side to it. There is experience, there is realism in it. Realism, can we use? Yeah, so there's realness in it. But then dependence on that realness being the condition, no, that is wrong. That is empty of its nature. So therefore the nature itself, empty. Yeah, so just like this morning explained. So yeah. So yeah, anyway, so I think this method the method by negating the four methods of being established, and this one sort of like clearly identifies in understanding that when being born there is a subjective side that needs to understand that where it is coming from, how it is coming, what is coming. That one is a need. Because without that need, without that understanding of where, then you cannot establish an understanding at all. So without establishment of existence is there, but without establishment of the concept of existence itself, then how are you going to contemplate on the existence? The moral is like, if you do not understand a person, then how are you going to get along with that person? Does it make sense? Yeah? If you do not understand a person, how are you going to get along with the person? You cannot. So understanding the person helps in getting along with the person. Understanding the nature helps in integrating the nature into your life. You want happiness, you want joy, you want attainment, you want achievement, you want enlightenment, you want freedom. And this we want. And this is all a process of nature that we want. But if you don't understand it, then how are you going to achieve it? How are you going to attain it? So therefore we say the ones that we attain in samsara, or the ones that we achieve in samsara, is momentary. Just because it's momentary, then no dependence on it. We don't want momentary. You want momentary? You want to be happy only today? Yeah, you want to be enlightened only today? Then we say, no, I don't want that. Yeah, you want to be joyful only today? The answer is very clear. No. I want everlasting. I want evergreen. I want, continuous joy. We want that. So if you want continuous joy, then we need to understand the nature, because the nature is the continuity of it. Nature is dependent on origination. Nature is continuity. Nature is karma. Nature is cause and effect. So you need to understand it. No? So I think depending on practice, this is the mindset behind understanding the nature. It depends. At the end of the day, it's linked down to your inner core, down to yourself. What does the self want? What is the self seeking? And how is the self achieving things? Then what is the meaning behind the self achieving those things? Meaningless. Some of the things are meaningless. Some of the things we do in our everyday life is very, very meaningless. It's like puppet. Just entertainment. This is what we call entertainment, no? Yeah, one guy sitting on his TikTok like this whole day. Meaningless. What are we achieving? So a lot of the things we do in our life meaningless. So to make sense of that, the things that we do, to make the path more clear in regards to what we are doing, that one also now dependent on Tashikawa Yeriba. Tashikawa Yeriba, yeah? Huh? Fourfold analysis. So anyway, so because we want the nature to flow in the way we want, through the emotions that we want, then if you want that, then you cannot depend on momentary existence based on that. And this concept, momentary happiness, always we don't think momentary, we think happiness is in its own nature just happy. Inherent. If I get a big house, then I will be happy. If I get a big house for my mother, then she will be happy. This is the inherent view. And we see that it is inherent. This one I don't need to prove to you. We see it. We very clearly see it. So our whole life we put into achieving that inherent happiness, establishing that inherent happiness. So after I give a good house to my mother, happiness is there. But is the inherentness there? That one is not there. So then what happens after the inherent delusion? You understand the inherent delusion in it. Then what happens? Then you regret. Why? Yeah, today she's having a house than this. Then it's this the inherentness you start to see that. So then the inherentness started disappear. So then regret, why did I do? I worked so hard. I worked 24 hours to make the money. I put so much effort. I did that. No result. The result was there. Momentary result was there. But you were seeing that the momentary result was inherent. Now you look back and see, that was delusion. That was not inherent. So these experiences, I think everyone has this experience, a personal level. This is just an example that I'm giving. But if you sit down, close your eyes, look deep into your past experiences, you'll see that inherentness popping up over and over and over again. That is what you need to deal with. Method? Yeah, this is the method. Getting somewhere? Yes? Good. Good. Okay. Okay, so question answer.
So maybe to help me summarize, we started the day by talking about the concept of the method of four analyses or fourfold analysis. Can you, and I know you went through them, but can you just list them as they are? There's 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, just for my own clarification.
So first one, Dale Mai. Not born from self, Dale Mai. Yeah, dark is self. So the first one is self. Second one is Shen. Shen, I think you can translate to others. Yeah, others. Yeah, so Dale Mai, not from self, not from others. Then the third one is Niga. Niga is both. So neither from self nor from others. Then last one, fourth one is Gyume. Gyu is cause, then Meba is no. So it's causeless, as they say, causeless. So not born from causeless. Okay. Yeah. Well.
The question, but I got a great insight from your talk. Since my childhood, whenever there is a pain, suffering, this too shall pass.
Yeah.
Very common phrase. But when we are enjoying, nobody says this too shall pass.
Yes, yes.
So this insight, can change everything. I mean,
Yes, yes.
when I'm having good time with you, this too shall pass.
Yes, yes.
Everything. Yes. So I'll try to remember it.
Okay. Yeah, someone here? Hey.
So, so you spoke about others, like in this fourfold analysis, not from other. You spoke about other like it's kind of a general way, and if things were born from other, then anything would be born from anything, right?
Yes.
That's what you said.
Yes.
But then, I mean, you still can have the feeling that things, even though things are born from specific others,
Yeah.
like, a mango tree is born from a mango seed and not from like a
Yes.
mustard seed or whatever, still they are born from other.
Yes.
They are specific,
Yes,
but they are other.
Yes. So this is why that specific needs to be there. This is why dependent origination is not others. Others is general.
I see.
Yeah. If I say there are many others, there are others in this room, does that mean I'm pointing to you? No.
No.
Exactly. So when you say born from others, then it's very generalization. Then I say, oh, this person is here, that person is there, then becomes more specific. And it's important to be specific because of that reason. Yeah, like I said, if the concept of born from others comes, then the whole concept, definitely I'm not negating the concept of other religion or anything like that, but then the question is up here, comes there. And then anything can be born from anything.
But can you say that things are born from other, just from specific others?
Yeah, that one you can.
That you can say?
Yeah, this is where the dependent origination comes. Dependence is others. Yeah? When we say dependence, what we say dependence? Dependence is others.
So this just means
Then origination is specific. Yeah?
So this just means others in a sense of a general others, not others
This is why the word others, the word itself is very vague.
Yes.
So you cannot say others in the sense, because normally how in the philosophy how you look is you look self, how we define is self and others. Yeah? Me, self. Everything, everyone other than me is what? Others. Everything that is not the me is others. Yeah? So this one specifying based on that. Make sense?
Yeah. Thank you.
Kabirji?
Your answer to this question answered it. I was thinking,
Okay.
really clever. I was thinking, so two different colors are mixed together, they produce a third color.
Yes.
But I guess that's also specific, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I was trying to be very smart.
Yeah, very smart. Need to be smart. If you're not smart, then how can you analyze? Need to be smart. Yes.
You do spiritual counseling for others, is that correct?
Yes.
I was curious if you could speak more about the concept of nihilism, and when someone comes to you and falls into the I don't matter and that like grasping of falling into like depression and suicide, what are the kind of questions that how do you guide them? And how do you recognize when someone or yourself is falling into that view of nihilism?
Deep question. First thing is always open. You need very, very open. I think you need to open your mind as far as it can. You cannot look one way. Most problems cannot deal with because we are looking very specific way. I'm a Buddhist, I need to think from the Buddhist perspective, then everything else does not matter. That is very narrow-minded. Yeah, I'm a man, so a woman problem do not matter. Again, very specific. I'm a human being, so animal problem like that. Then again, very specific. So within human beings, then also based on experience. I don't have the experience, so I cannot tell. Most cases. If someone has addiction to drug, then I don't have experience, I cannot tell. If someone has, fought in a war and had traumatic experience there, I didn't experience that, I cannot tell. So, but then a lot of us, we think, oh yeah, I can tell. Even if I don't have experience, I can tell. So for me, it's always, I think the first step is always listening. Then with the listening, I think there has to be genuine, sincere, and unconditionality in the listening. We are very fast. When we listen and someone gives you some kind of idea, some kind of perspective, we are very fast to say, oh yes, oh no, yes, no, right, wrong, left, right. We are very, very fast at saying, presenting that. So if you are trying to help someone, first, big help just in listening, because a lot of cases it's all about releasing, and there's no one listening. People don't have time, people don't have energy, people don't have this, so just being able to lay out what is bothering you up here, that itself already situation already comes down a lot. And so this is one thing I think important, because now there's a time is money, time is that, time is this. So importance is given external. There's no emotional importance. There's no connective importance. So I think this is one important aspect of being able to really connect with others. Is first step, I think, just listening. Listening without judgment, listening without different views and thoughts and what I think is right and what I think is wrong. None of those. You let go of all of those. You just let your mind open and let them pour in what they want. So that one, I think that's the hardest part. And already, if the genuine and sincerity and unconditionality is there, I think 50% of this is gone already. If only the mother listened to the daughter, 50% gone. Maybe not 100%, but 50%, most cases gone. Then the second one is in regards to applying. Buddha always said, apply based on the mind. This is where I say capability, ability. And this matters. Your experience, that matters. The moment I say, no, your experience does not matter, what you think does not matter, is not even true, is not even useful, now you're already creating a big rift. It's like building a wall between you and that person. And this happens in relationship a lot. At first, there's a lot of consideration. Yes, okay, yeah, he wants to do this, okay, no problem. She wants to, okay. Then after slowly get to know each other, then no, you can't do this. Oh, you can't do this. You can't go here. You can't go there. Now you're building a big wall in front of you. So the second is, I think, expression. Always no walls there. It has to be clear. And then I think the third aspect is actually now laying out things in the way the other person perceives. Not laying out things in the way you perceive. That's a third problem, I think. We're always going out laying things as I perceive. I think this is the best. I think that is the best. I think, when do you come and say, what do you think is the best method? If I give you 3 ideas, which one would you choose? We never put that down on the table. It's always what I think. I think you should give up. I think you should let go. I think you should. So now that's the third rift you create. So I think the combination of these 3 things is the most important aspect. Then other aspect, I think, dependent very personally on the personal situation, the personal whatever circumstances. So yeah, make sense? Yeah. Meditate. Okay, so no more questions? We are all enlightened now. Huh? Huh? Yeah, expecting change from the start. Maybe that is the inherent is there. Let it go, then you realize, oh, yeah, I'm already enlightened. Yeah, so anyway, I think participating in understanding the middle way through the contemplation of dependent origination by establishing what we say the fourfold analysis is one of the most smooth paths to establishing the true nature of existence. So this is mentioned within the text. Yeah. So from many methods of establishment, whether it be establishment through experience, whether it be establishment through contemplation, whether it be establishment through understanding, whether it be establishment through what we say negating, whether it be establishment through embracing, many different methods. And this is like we were just saying, this is very personal. Everyone has their what their mind is more open to accept, what your mind not accept, what your mind is more open to what we say get to. I don't know how to explain. Open to. Yeah, sort of what your mind. Yeah, what your mind is embracing towards. But the dependency of that embracing is not on faith, not on all of that, but clear logic, clear understanding, clear analysis. Yeah, so that being the basis, the analysis, the logic, the clear understanding, the ah-ness, yeah, we talked about. So basing on that, sensible. Yeah, so basing on that, then how your methods towards achieving that now difference. So anyway, within the text, describe that this one of the most logical methods of establishment. So if necessary, then of course, developing meditation important. Like I always say, understanding is completely different from actually understanding. Does that make sense? I don't know if I'm contradicting or not, but yeah, just understanding is completely different from actually understanding. Just understanding can be, yeah, okay, something like that. Oh, yeah, makes sense. That is just understanding. That truly understanding is, I look at myself, I look at my life, I look at my mind. Where is it going? How is it going? What it is doing in order to, what the aim is. So there now you actualizing the understanding. Yeah, so this is why I say actually understanding. Yeah, so actualizing the understanding. So through that, I think very important in order to truly figure out. External figuring out, then sit down, then, oh yeah, we have to do this, we have to do that, oh, we have to do this, we have to do that, this is good for this is good for that. That is very, this one we always say, right? Don't harm others. Yeah, okay, yeah. I accept not to harm others. But then when it actually comes and the mosquito starting to bite, then actualization, whether it's there or not, that is completely different. Oh, anger is bad. But when someone says something to you, then actualizing, now that is completely different. Understanding is there, yeah, anger is bad for you. Understanding there, this is what we all, yeah. Then we say, I understand. But is that understanding enough? Without the true understanding, then that one you need to figure out. Yes.
One so that understanding the middle way, based on this understanding of depending origin, is the most balanced way of progressing in the path. Is that because we are less likely to be grasping into any of the extremes and therefore be more protected towards any, I don't know, spiritual materialism in some way?
Yes. So it's like saying, it's like saying, okay, if you fight, then you will get hurt. So don't fight. Then I say, okay, that makes sense. So I won't fight. And actually putting you into a cage and making you fight, then you experience, then you come back with bruise, then you understand, okay, now I should not fight. There's two different experiences leading to the same thing. The concept after going through both of them is, I should not fight. But there's a difference in that, I think. So anyway, this is just an example. I don't think this is a good example. I can't think of a good example. But just like you said, the what do we say? The possibility of you going into nihilism and externalism in other cases or practices is very high. Whereas through the analysis part, then that sort of like possibility sort of goes down.
So the progress in the path should always feel as smooth as possible, as joyful as possible, as easy as possible. And that's how we calibrate our attunement to the practice.
Yes. So joy. Focus on. I always say, no joy, then practice. No practice. Joy in practice is extremely important. Then second thing is not just the joy. I think, what was I trying to say? It's not just, I mean, the joy becoming the core, of course. There's like this stability. Joy establishes stability. Stability produces a result. Stability produces consistency, and consistency produces a result. Practice is all about building consistency. So that is one part of it. There was the other, I forgot now. Anyway, you were saying? There's one other thing. Anyway, I think, Makes sense?
So, in regards to your own journey, were there some moments where you struggled with joy, developing joy in some practices? And if yes, how did you cultivate it? Because in my own personal journey, I'm trying to find a balanced path between discipline, right, and joy, and that's kind of difficult.
Yes. Now I have a big problem. Of being too joyful. I'm just kidding. That was a joke, by the way. Don't take it seriously. I think, throughout life you have. You have likes and dislikes. This is the main thing, right? You have likes and dislikes, whether you want to, whether you don't want to. This, like I said, intrinsically there in some way, not intrinsically, inherently there in some way. Then convincing yourself that this inherentness does not exist is not easy. Then if you're putting too much effort in trying to, push down, then the self starts to, I say the mind is like a teenager, and you try to control it too much, then then it's like, I don't care, I don't want to listen to you, I want to go my own way. So this is, I think, why balance is extremely important. And I think first is knowing your mind. Discovering, I always say, look at your mind like your own child. If you do not, looking after your child is not about always being compassionate and kind and letting it do what it wants. It's not about that. There has to be disciplines. But the discipline also needs to have limits. You can't over-discipline also. If you over-discipline the child, then what happens? Then it rebels. It wants to escape. So you need to, if you want your child to come back to the house every day, you need to make the house very, comfortable, cozy, as we say. So the space we are living in the mind needs to be cozy, but not completely. This is where morality of the 10 perfections. This one, I think, is like what we say, the pinch of the salt on top of the soup that makes it delicious. So I think something like that. But the perfection within the teaching is also always perfection, external perfection, generosity, external generosity, kindness, external kindness, morality in front of others, morality, behavior, so on and so forth. Then patience also with others. Be patient with others. But then I think internally, as much as necessary to apply externally, internally need to apply the same amount. And this is, I think, a journey that we all have to go through. The learning what is too much, what is too less. This is a journey that we all need to go through, and maturity is all about gaining wisdom through that journey. So one step at a time, patient, but kind enough. But then also not too kind, so that it you spoil it. Not too kind that you spoil it. So the balance, I think, important. Make sense?
So there's a comment you made that there's really no, from what I understand, there's no randomness. It's talking about this idea of specificity. So if there's cause, then nothing is random. And so as I've gone on my own journey, I've been interested in this idea of synchronicity, or these things that happen that we can't necessarily explain.
Syncretism?
Synchronicity, it would be
what is that?
Happening at the same time.
No, synchronicity is like, I guess two things that happen that seem unrelated, but that appear as like a pattern in the world. Like you think of a friend, and then that friend calls you. That would be an idea of a synchronicity. Or another one is, at one point you were talking about dog food or eating dog food. And then I opened this book that I was reading, and I happened to bookmark the exact section where they were talking about eating dog food. So it's just like this, these two things that seem unrelated, but then according to Buddhism, it would seem like that everything has a cause to it. But the cause seems to be mental. Like I think of a friend, and then they call me. But is there an explanation for that in Buddhism, or a way of conceiving of stuff like that happening?
If you want to study cause, condition, and karma, very, very extensive. Now, within cause, only within cause, there is, I think, 60 something different, different kinds of sort of like structured, different kinds of causes that are different. Generally, then we talk about the cause, what do you say, moyu and yuyu, lenji chibi kanyam yu, tsungdeng yu. I don't know how to explain it in English. Moyu is like, cause, immediate cause. Yuyu is sort of like contractive cause. Directive, indirective cause. Then kanyam yu is like more like Yes. So many different causes. Yeah. Then there's external cause, internal cause. Yeah. Mental side we normally label as internal cause. Then within internal cause, I think structure of what we say the causes, what we say seed. Yeah. What is it? Karisade. Like imprint, yeah. So there's imprintal cause, and then there's conditional expressional cause. Then there's action cause, mental action cause. Yeah. So then there's also different. So within causes, I think quite you can actually, I think very interesting to study about it. Yeah. So mind, first you study mind and mental factors, then you study Gyunde, cause and conditions. These are the two first topics that we touch because it's integrated with all of the what we say philosophy coming forward. So these two things establishment is important. Yeah. So I think when it comes to that, then you can start to see that there is incremental causes that tend to seem like it's random. Tend to seem like it's random. Yeah, when it's like this. If I put a seed into the ground, then maybe 1 month it doesn't grow, 2 months it doesn't grow, 3 months it doesn't grow, 5 months it doesn't grow, 2 years it doesn't grow. Then after 3 years, suddenly growing. Then we think, random. It just happened. But then you start to actually research and you start to see, okay, maybe the conditions, not right conditions at that time. Something like that, or here, there, this, and that. So when you actually go and check, then you start to see this, the randomness tends to disappear. Even though it seems like it's random, the randomness tends to disappear because, first of all, illogical that is random. Yeah, random cause and conditions illogical because random cause and condition, if there's a random cause and condition here, then a random cause and condition also has to be there. Why this randomness in one sense? So based on that also, anyway, here and there, what I'm trying to say is if you want to check specific causes, yeah, whether it be mental conditioning, whether it be, and within the mental also we have primary mental conditioning. Yeah, then secondary mental conditioning. Then within that also we have gross mental conditioning. Then we have subtle mental conditioning. So you start to figure out conditioning. I mean, we look from generalization is we just look from the overview sort of thing. And because the overview is not specific, that's why it seems random. I think this is why it seems random. But there's no one answer to all different random causes that we feel are random. Every single random cause that we feel are random has its own specific, specific link to why it may happen or why it is happening. But then that doesn't prove that generally because of that reason, again, people think, everything is, what do you call? What is the word? Predetermined. So we think, everything is predetermined. In that case, then everything is predetermined. But that is also not the case because the conditionings that have been done can always be changed. Just because you put a seed here does not mean a tree has to grow here. I can, if I want to go and take out the seed and plant it somewhere else, I can do that. So this comes also. Make sense? I don't know. This one a little bit hard to make sense, but I think a deeper study into it will definitely make more sense. And if, of course, we can do a course on that, but then the whole thing, yeah. Okay. I think this. Okay.
I can smell this will be the last time. And back 2 days ago, when we were speaking about precious human life, and I filter that through what you say to always think of what a teacher says to be correct and to give it some pondering. So when
what a teacher says is correct, you need
to it's a view. Every teacher would have their own view. So when we were speaking about precious human life, she defined it as people who are able to learn Dharma. And I asked her, I said, well, there are people who are born who have mental, intellectual difficulties, who are not able to learn certain things. I said, are those people not considered precious human life? And she said, no. And I was dumbfounded. I wanted to get up and leave the room. I said, if this is about Buddhism, it's about, I'm not interested in learning it. I walk through Bodhi every day to see what precious human life looks like. And I think back to what her definition was. And those people are unable to learn Dhamma.
Yes.
And in my opinion, they are so very much precious human life.
Yes.
So what are your thoughts on it, sir?
Now different people consider precious differently. Yeah, this is why extremism is a little bit dangerous also. Yeah, when you think, when a lot of people when they understand, when they think, Dharma is everything, Dharma is life, Dharma is practice, day is Dharma, night is Dharma. These are very what we say hardcore practitioners in some sense, or they're trying to become hardcore. I don't know. Maybe they're trying to become. Maybe they're trying to prove. That one, I don't know. This is personal. Precious, from one sense, I think if you are aiming for enlightenment, then precious changes. If you are aiming for development, then precious changes. If you're aiming to make money, then precious changes. So a Buddhist teacher, if I'm very money-minded and I want to make a lot of money, then Buddhist teacher, I don't see precious. I see someone who has the what do you call that? Entrepreneurship. Then I say, precious. This is not precious. This is more precious. So the goal changes. So I think maybe she or he, whatever, that one maybe a little bit hardcore, sort of like in viewing that, enlightenment precious. Therefore, because enlightenment precious, then enlightenment cannot be achieved without Dharma. And therefore, Dharma is precious. Then a life with Dharma is considered precious because the Dharma is precious. So that concept can be maybe the reason behind why. Now I can't confirm the reason, but that may be the reason why the answer came like that. So now you ask my perspective. My perspective is, I think if there's capability and ability, then precious. So we say everyone has the capability to become a Buddha. The Buddha nature exists in everyone. There's no one person that does not have that capability. Whether utilizing or not utilizing, that's different. That one also depending on cause and condition, just like you said. If you have some brain problem, then we say mentally challenged. Mentally challenged. Then that one is cause and condition. That one I cannot make any specific judgment on that. I can't blame the person because of the cause, right? Like I said, cause and condition come from all different angles. Accumulated cause is something that we all experience. One person, a person comes to Nepal from the Himalayas. When we were up in the Solukhumbu region, then the air is so fresh, so breeze, nice, cool. Then I come to Nepal and small pollution, the air is thick. But this is accumulated. I can't blame one person for that. It's accumulated, no. So if you are going around blaming and pinpointing, then I think he or she maybe need a little bit more practice, especially in regards to the right view. But anyway, generally explained within the Lamrim, then main goal of Lamrim is to lead to enlightenment. Yeah. So because the main goal of Lamrim is to lead in enlightenment, then it's mentioned that the precious human rebirth, one of the qualities of the precious human rebirth is the what do we say, the freedom and riches. Yes, yes. Yeah, but we are talking, yeah. So
Unimpaired sense faculties. Like unimpaired sense faculties is one of the qualities.
No. I'm trying to explain. I think so. One of the things that is mentioned within that is the dharma, and this one even his Charok Lama Rinpoche mentions. Yeah. Precious human rebirth, because now we have the ability to receive teachings and to go through the dharma and to practice the dharma and this and so this one, I think, very specific. Specific answer is a sort of like a specific answer. It's not general answer. Something like that, I think. So I think it does definitely changes goal, aspiration, perspective. These all changes, but when you talk about all mother sentient beings, then you cannot bring. Then you are extremely right. You cannot bring that kind of mindset within the practice. Yeah, that one is more precious than the other. There's no comparison. We went through the view of emptiness. And not dualistic mind. And this is a true practice. And there's no comparison between one person and another. Oh, he's greater, he's better, he's worse, there's no comparison there. Even when you talk about the true Buddha nature, this is why within the text, when in developing Simge, then you say everyone has the potential. There's not one being that does not have the potential. And this is also coming within the Tantric, then we say the Buddha nature in everyone. That's the exact same thing again. Recognizing the Buddha nature in everyone gives you the ability to actually, respect, appreciate. So this is common factor. So, yeah, something like that. Okay, lunch time. Okay, yeah. Thank you so much.